So we're just going to jump immediately into episode 1 and then have our thoughts afterwards. Here we go. Flashing or strobing lights. Okay, so like flashing, strobing lights, epilepsy warning, just in case. Sonic X Shadow Generations, Dark Beginnings. Now, I'm most likely going to be talking somewhat, but I'm going to save most of it for the end. Yep, Shadow and Maria. Starting off right in the feels most likely. We kind of knew the episode names as of Sonic Central yesterday, so this will be interesting. Space Colony ARK, 50 years ago. I love the ARK. So this is good.
Shadow! Hurry!
Don't know if this... Okay, never mind.
See this?
What's wrong?
Nothing. Look.
It's
A
lights.
view. It's a view.
Aurora Borealis. You can only see them from certain latitudes down there. But
Oh.
up here, we can see the whole...
Think of...
the whole...
Maria.
That's not good. That's not good. Okay, there you go.
Thank you.
That's an interesting thought, though.
I just pushed it a little.
Like the
That's
ARK.
all.
The low gravity here only keeps your condition in remission. You should know better than to exert yourself.
The ARK definitely would have great views like that, though.
You're right.
When you think about
When
it.
it comes to the beauty of the Earth, I can't help myself. I can't wait for the day when we can finally return.
I was created here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if there's a place for me on Earth.
Of course there is.
Professor Gerald made me the ultimate life form. I should be the key to all manner of medicines. Curing you.
I mean, yeah. That's some of the tracks with stuff we've been told over the years.
You and Grandfather are doing your best.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just as happy to spend time with you here.
Oh, so we're doing this
while you
episode 1,
both
by the way.
research.
So we knew this was coming from the preview back in July. Oh, this is gonna be good. Episode 1? There's Emerald. Emerald? I was told it's pronounced like Emerald, obviously, without the ending part. I remember Sonic Battle and stuff, but I always said his name wrong. Oh, he gets cut off.
Heading towards Grandfather's lab. Shadow, you have to save him.
There it is. Something cinematic about this shot right here. All the explosions around and
Just
how
wait
it frames it.
here. I'll be back. I promise.
This looks really good, though. Like... Yo, okay, so we're gonna see the hands getting thrown this time, though. Here we go. Here we go. Mess him up. Though it's not really Emerald's fault here. If history tracks the same as it was, he kind of wrongly got fed a bunch of weaponry and is just kind of going berserk. Ooh, mess him up. Hang on. Because we... Oh, okay. That's not normal.
No. This isn't right.
That's not.
This is the Guardian Units of Nation.
Jeez.
Prepare to be boarded.
The soldiers.
Like, we knew they
stole
got
the
boarded, but we never kind of got to
Destroy all
see the
evidence.
size of the
But it's
boarding
too
party,
soon.
and that's
It's happening
massive.
too quickly.
You told me the Biolizard decimate... Oh, the Ark's not supposed to tilt like that. Unless it's not the Ark. Okay, well... Gerald Robotnik. We know what this part is, the firing squad. Come on now.
Professor, we must...
Oh, nah. No. You can't, nah. You're in a nightmare, buddy. That's not... That is not okay. Okay, there's several things I want to say, but I'm also wanting to watch at the same time. With reactions, I wonder how people feel about that. Is it better to just sometimes watch, or you here for reactions, so... No, that's not... Obviously, that's not good. There he is. We know who that was. We knew that. We know those 3 eyes.
That was
Present
no
day.
mere nightmare. And it
Yeah.
all began in view of the Ark.
Oh, look at that shot. Ooh, there it is. I
Could
love
he
the
have
arc.
survived?
Maybe.
That can't be. I need answers.
Well, one answer we just got technically was so half the moon is definitely still gone. Oh, it's having the arc with it though is that's kind of a neat credits. All right, cool. Let's see some real quick. Let's see if there's more, or is it all credits from here on in? Gotcha. Okay, so we're gonna go back. I'm gonna turn the volume down quite a bit this time, and we're just gonna kind of go over it, and then I'm gonna pause at certain points and talk about certain points because there was a lot there for us to talk about. All right, cool. So first of all, episode 1, pretty good. I like the animation. Like most people, like we've seen trailers and bits and pieces, but to actually see it now, a full come together episode, and we know there's 2 more, that was really cool. This one's interesting. I'm going to talk about several things, so I'm going to skip around instead of let it play necessarily. First part is actually just this beginning part right here, because I was thinking about that, like from the Ark, seeing stuff like the Aurora Borealis, seeing just sunrises and sunsets, that ought to be insane when you think about it, right? That's like the appeal of space, being in space, space stations, all that stuff too, is like the view from up there. Obviously, space travel right now might not be as secure as in Sonic's world, but at the same time, like, those are probably like the appeals of certain reasons why certain people might want to go to space, the same way that some people might want to go to the Grand Canyon or sightsee when they're in a different, foreign country, right? Like, space is that final frontier, and the Ark probably has fantastic views. It's a massive colony after all, so you're not going to get cramped very easily. That was one part. Second part is this part, actually, specifically because he says her condition's in remission. From my understanding, her condition was in fact mitigated by the fact that they were in space and the Ark has lower gravity. I didn't know it was in remission, so that means maybe they could have actually lived a full life if the Ark never got raided. That's unfortunate. But yeah, this right, I'm guessing this is the capsule room, which looks like it's like 10 times bigger than it was previously. Or maybe it's always been this big. But the new capsule room versus, let's say, in Sonic Adventure 2 when you fight in the Egg Walkers. Actually, I guess it was pretty big back then too, but this bit here. So this is the trailer, the first trailer we saw in July. So we saw Emerald come through. This is an actual thing that we've known has happened since 4? Whenever Sonic Battle was. This is not like a new thing where they brought this character back. This is a story they haven't told in like 20 years, but we finally get to see it. What I didn't realize is the dude saying alert, I think he gets wiped out right here because he gets cut off. Let's listen real quick. Hold on, let me turn this back up. He's like locked down the lower, I guess in lower levels, and then boom, just gets wiped out. Oh, that's unfortunate. But this shot right here is, I like this shot especially. Not this shot. This is a terrible shot. This is one of the worst shots in all of Sonic franchise right here. And I don't mean the animation. I'm making a pun because it's the gun soldiers that kill Maria. But this right here though, this is beautiful. With the music and everything. And the way it's framed, I thought that was really cool. So obviously then we get to the fight where we actually get to see them throwing hands, and boy was this not a disappointment. I'll let this play in the background for a second while we go over this, because what's interesting about this is this was 50 years ago, but then obviously when we see look at the footwork, break the ankles, mess them up. Okay, we're getting back into it again, my bad. That's fun. That's just fun to watch, because a lot of when we see combat in the Sonic universe, we see the homing attacks, or we see people use their powers and stuff. We don't really just see like a full-on hand-to-hand situation. Now, this is another shot. My goodness. We knew the invasion force had to be a decent size. The Ark is a mini city, after all, essentially. If the Sonic X card capture is anything to still go by. 15 kilometers, nearly 10 miles, basically. It's like 9.32. It's big, so you would need a fleet, but that almost feels unnecessary. Like, what did they really think they were? Actually, to be fair, if the records or anything, if those are still canon too, the Biolizard decimates most of this by itself. So they needed this. I'm not happy for it, obviously, because we're rooting for like Shadow and Gerald and Maria in a situation like this, but they needed this. The Biolizard by itself was a pain. So if anything else would have been up there, this wouldn't have been enough. So I guess that makes sense. But that's when we start learning this can't be real. Like, first of all, the Ark don't move like this. Or if it is, it's plummeting towards the atmosphere again, which is a problem in itself. Then we get this. Oh, this is some good stuff right here. My word, right? We know what this is. His jail cell, all of you ungrateful humans who took everything away from him. But then now we know it's a dream. It's a nightmare of some sort, right? This is definitely, and these look like the Black Arms clouds. I thought the Black Arms were going to show up for a second because it's like the clouds over Westopolis, in my opinion. But then we get to this part, and this is interesting to me for a couple of reasons. So now we're back at present day. Okay, yeah, so he says it all began in view of the Ark. So I'm imagining, did he look at the Ark and this triggered a nightmare? Which is interesting. Okay, so on a side note, on a personal level, that's happened to me before. Hear me out, let me land. I'm going to get back to the actual things, but there was one time, so a couple times whenever I've had a dream and the Ark has showed up in it, it's always like hovering above, massive and looming. But there was one time it grew like a bajillion times its normal size, grew like a really jagged mouth, and then just started eating the planet in like 24 seconds. We were all dead. Spoiler alert. Basically, yeah, looking at the Ark can induce nightmares. That's relatable. That's the whole thing. It's now relatable for me. So I think that's actually a very valid plot point right there, because I've seen it happen, because I've experienced it when I was a kid. So, but this shot in itself too, because like the Ark is what destroyed half the moon. That's how the world was introduced to the Ark's existence, was when Eggman did that in Sonic Adventure 2. And so then to have the Ark, the culprit that did this, also hovering near it is interesting. Also because, and I can't confirm this, if you're still watching this, maybe you've heard about this, but there was a thing, like a fun fact about the Ark that you can find, I guess, on the Wikipedia page even too, where like once a year, the Ark is actually visible at night high in the sky. It happens like once a year, or one night a year at that too, where you can see it, which is why it's sometimes referred to as Earth's second moon. I don't know how relevant that still is, or if that's what literally this is supposed to be like making canonical, which I guess if it was on the Wikipedia it already was, but now maybe this is doing it again by saying like this is that night, which will be interesting because the Ark is very visible like it usually is, and there's the moon that it destroyed. I'm wondering why no one's tried to put it back together. Obviously it's not that easy, but I just feel like with the science and tech in Sonic's world, it ought to be possible, right? Sonic X kind of did like a little bit of a version of it, but I mean like just if most of the moon's pieces are still floating around it too, right? Maybe? Because they sealed the bottom half of the Ark up in like a half dome situation. So like on a much larger project using the moon's materials that are already still there, that might be possible, right? No, okay. No. Boom. Wow, that's such a beautiful shot of the Ark right there. I told you I've said it multiple times, I love the Ark. That's my new wallpaper right now on my PC, straight up. It's amazing. Look at it. Look at it looking at you. It's looking into your soul. You're going to have nightmares now. We're all going to have nightmares together. But that's interesting because now one thing I'm wondering,
Could he have survived?
Could he have survived? I'm assuming is Black Doom right at the end of the nightmare, right? We see right here. This is clearly Black Doom. That's clearly him. That's what I mean. We know those three eyes. It's his eyes, his three-fingered hands, and stuff like that. So now I guess he's racing off to see if he can find out if, he needs answers. Also, I find it interesting. The Ark is looking directly at us. It might be a minor detail and not actually that important. They might have went through this much work animating it over here in this shot. Where is it? So they just kind of they just use the one angle. But I wonder if that's significant because while I was talking about earlier, my whole, the Ark ate the planet nightmare. At the same time, if looking at the Ark caused this, and we know this is a prequel to obviously Sonic X Shadow Generations proper, right? Dark Beginnings is a prequel. And we've seen in multiples of those stages how stages will bend and reality will warp. I'm wondering if that's actually the Ark, or if that's some sort of like illusion, some sort of bait, and Shadow's accidentally without unknowingly taken it by looking at it. Because I mean, like, that would be a cool view to look up at the sky, see the moon like that. It's never that close to us anymore, but it would be cool to see that view right there with the Ark also there too. And Shadow obviously having history with the Ark, of course he would probably look at it. But now I'm wondering, right? Because like, because we know episode 3 is called To the Ark, and now I'm wondering, basically because we know Black Doom's alive. If this had come out and we had known nothing about Sonic X Shadow Generations, it'd be like all up in the air. We know that's coming. We've seen trailers, we've seen story trailers, gameplay trailers, etc. I'm wondering if this ties into that. And this is how it starts, basically. Where maybe that is the Ark, but for some reason there's some sort of allure, is what I'm saying, that's pulling him there that isn't real, and it's actually Black Doom. Because in all the situations where he's going through those stages, it's Doom's Eye being there, being like, haha, I'm still here. You're just going to have to deal with this, and you're chasing Doom's Eye down, basically. So, it's got to have something to do with that, maybe? Also, and I'm hoping not, will the Ark be destroyed? Because at the end of Shadow the Hedgehog, 2005, right, when you beat Devil Doom, when you destroy the Black Comet, when the Eclipse Cannon and Shadow fulfill their purposes, essentially, right? Shadow in protecting the planet that Maria loved, the Eclipse Cannon, which was created to protect, that's what Black Doom even says at the cutscene before the Ark, right? The Eclipse Cannon was created to protect mankind. Gerald was playing 5D chess 50 years ago, you know, trying to trick Black Doom, basically. And if I'm Black Doom coming back somehow, maybe I didn't die at all, maybe he never died, or if he did die, he's found a way to come back. One thing I've noticed, obviously, is that there's Black Arms troops in a lot of the stages, right? Now, those could just be being pulled from different points in time, but if those are new troops, then there's a chance there's either a new Black Comet or you've pulled the Black Comet from a point in time before it was destroyed. Meaning, it's still under threat as long as the Ark is around because of the Eclipse Cannon. So now I'm wondering if the Ark's not going to make it this time. Because if I'm Black Doom, strategically speaking, and I'm coming back in any capacity, the Ark needs to go. The Ark is a bigger threat, in my opinion, than Shadow. Shadow is a threat, of course, but Shadow also has my blood running through his veins, and maybe I can still turn him into like a fierce Black Arms warrior of some kind, or I can turn him to my side, or I can manipulate him. Something I can do. You can't manipulate the Ark. Black Doom's blood doesn't run through the Ark's veins. The Ark doesn't have veins. As far as we know, the core was still beaten, by the way. It's probably pulsating with energy, but just throwing that out there. So, it will be interesting to find out as we go forward. Obviously, this is episode 1. There's still 2 more episodes I'm going to drop, but this has been fun already, and I'm very excited. So, what did you think? Comment in the comment section down below. I basically did the whole rambling of my comments, so you probably don't want to hear any more of me. I'm going to let you get out of here. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification, the actual subscribe button. But I don't know what video will be next. We're just going to have to wait and see. So until next time, take care, and enjoy pizza responsibly. Thank you for watching. Oh, what a shot.